wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong.
There's a real atmosphere around here of anything that truly makes us laugh in real life. Why not just put it into the show and see if it's funny, even if it's an odd thought or a weird thing to say out loud.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, I'm afraid I'm gonna need another stool sample. Not for medical reasons. I'm making a necklace.
I love to pitch jokes. Sometimes they're awful, sometimes they really work, and I've been able to get a lot in the show.
Not for medical reasons. My robot needs food.
It's a great atmosphere for a show that people aren't like, oh, I have to read these words exactly.
Not for medical reasons. I'm a collector.
It's a lot easier to say things that you can, I guess, to speak things that you can relate to, or dialogue, to have dialogue that you can relate to. How would I say this? That's how every actor looks at a script. How would I say this?
At Sacred Heart, we are not only gonna feed his sheep, but we gonna clothe them. And we gonna bathe them. And we gonna cut them open. And then we gonna stitch them right back together.
One thing that I think is kind of cool about this setup here is that we're here at the hospital, we're writing it at this weird abandoned hospital, and it's kind of like we're always in the middle of either shooting scenes all day long or grabbing lunch with the actors or whatever. There's downtime during the lighting of scenes, and so there's always this continual collaboration to kind of like find stuff on the fly and then shoot it, because you're not under a gun to get an audience out of the soundstage at 11 o'clock that night. It's like, well, we're lighting the next scene. Well, let's figure out a couple cool things to do. Let's just try that.
I feel like when I was first on the show, the first season, the first several episodes, I didn't want to do anything to rock the boat.
Maybe the Todd will show that little biscuits of love.
Somewhere along episode 10, I would say, I started being more comfortable on set, and I started improvising more, just a little bit here or there, and I saw that that stuff worked, and not only did it work, that Bill really encouraged me to do more and more of it, and so I feel like that was a real progression of the first season.
How you doing? Dude, that's totally how my car was rocking when I took this girl out last night.
I just love making that sound, and they used it in the show, and I realized the more of myself I bring to this, the more I'm gonna be rewarded for it, and they're gonna give me more to do.
You know, the actors are never shy about saying, well, this is funny or that's not funny, in a good way, because they just want to make it better. You know, it's not an egotistical thing, it's just they want to make it as good as they can, and you foster that. And because of that, we've gotten some great stuff. But, you know, sometimes it damages your pride when they're like, you know, that's not really...
But by the same token, don't you think also, though, that we're able to do it because I haven't worked with a group of people that was more flattering about the quality of the writing than this cast.
You can't work with the writers. They're amazing.
But Dow.
Billy's got those kids so dialed in. The text they crank out is just, it's stunning.
I'm really respectful of writers because my husband's a writer, so I don't ad-lib that much, and I am not a writer, so I really like to say what's on the page. The thought of you rotting in this fluorescent tomb is more soothing than a hot bath and a pitcher of gimlets. And then Bill will come up with other things for me to say, then I'm happy to say that. The thought of you rotting here in this fluorescent tomb is more fun than tipping the valet with your alimony check.
A lot of times on set, we'll sit around and hash out different options for punchlines on things.
Are you sexually active?
Oh, it's active. And then when Bill gets in the editing room, he'll choose whichever one he likes best.
Are you sexually active?
Oh, you know how I kick it. Sometimes he gets mad though if we forget to get the one that was written. We get in trouble sometimes.
What did you do?
What did you do?
We'll be on set and we'll all be dying laughing about a joke that we think is so funny, and Bill get the editor and hate it. We were so proud of ourselves for the new joke that we never got around to getting the one he wrote.
Sometimes I think I know what the scene is, and then I'll watch it on TV and I'm like, I'm laughing even harder because I had no idea when that got added or whatever.
Hello.
Just having been on a bunch of shows, you don't come across actors that much who are actually pitching lines that are just as funny as the writers, if not better.
Oh, that is so sweet.
Neil Flynn. Go, somebody.
We are of no use to Neil Flynn. We have tried to bring him down to our level, and we've not succeeded.
But to his credit, he'll always do one take of what's written, and then he'll just go crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun to be able to offer alternate jokes.
Like, instead of saying the line, which I thought in this one thing was, oh yeah, because janitors are uneducated and don't make a lot of money, I think he said, you know what, I'll go home and I'll talk to my janitor wife and my janitor kids and tell them that I got talked down by Dr. Who's-Its.
And that was, I think, maybe the first time that Bill Lawrence allowed me to go off and improvise.
There's nothing wrong with being a janitor.
Wow, thank you. You've really turned my life around. The whole thing ended up in the show, and which was very surprising, but that sort of established the freedom. No, seriously, come on. You can come over to my humble house and point out things that are cheap.
Neil Flynn comes from an improvisational background, and he does a comedy show every Saturday night, actually, at Improv at Olympic, and we've been to see it, and he's hysterical. He's extremely quick.
Bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, 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 bum.
Gee, is he gonna make it?
It doesn't look good.
Neil goes off on tangents, and if you're not prepared for it, it'll catch you completely off guard, and you'll just have a laughing fit for the rest of the day. But, you know, after a couple of seasons, you learn to just, you know, he's gonna do something crazy. All right, here it comes. Go. All right. And you bite the inside of your cheek so you don't laugh.
If somebody does something spontaneous and funny, the last thing you want to do is laugh and then ruin it, because then you can't use it. Then it was just funny for the crew, but it's not going to make it onto the show.
Oh, and his TV is broken, so when you two do start tagging each other, least you can do is wake him up and let him
I'm sorry, I never saw that gesture before.
I feel like Bill has created a tremendous atmosphere to do comedy, because there's no right or wrong. There's no, like, you didn't say the word right. There's more like a very relaxed atmosphere in which you have the feel of improvisation, even though it's mostly scripted.
Is it hot in here? It's hot. I like that because it makes you feel like you're a participant and not just acting out someone's lines. You actually play a part in coming up with the jokes, which is really fun.
I think a lot of traditional shows say, here's the script. Hopefully it will be as good as we imagine it in our head. And what we like to do is go, here's the script. All right, now we're shooting it. You know, maybe we can make it better at this stage by adding jokes on stage. Now we're cutting it. You know, maybe we can make it better here by creating pace, adding some new jokes, adding some voiceover jokes. We try really hard here at each stage what we've been talking about to try and make the show fun here.